Hello, everyone. It is that time of year. It is time to dip, you dip, we dip. That's right. It is time for our direct impact project. Summer 2021 dip is now live. This both internal and external intra-program competition is also a way for us to demonstrate the incredible power of fandom. Show what a bunch of geeks can do when we put our minds to it. And for this one, I mean, in the past, we have done hats and scarves and school supplies and bandages, so many bandages, so many socks, so much coffee. But for this one, we are doing period supplies, menstrual products, products for people who menstruate. It is a fact that 1 in 4 people who menstruate in the last year had difficulty affording or accessing period supplies. It is an essential thing that people who menstruate require in order to participate in everyday life. And I know that menstruation is a topic that most of us are a little, ooh, I don't want to talk about that. That's a biological function. It's a biological function that over half the planet experiences. So let's have a conversation about it. Let's talk about the fact that they are expensive, that they're more expensive than they should be, in my opinion, and that not everyone has access to them. So for this one, we are going to be supporting an incredible organization that we've actually supported before. Back in 2019, we supported the National Diaper Bank Network, the largest diaper bank network in the country. And they actually have a program, a kind of a secondary program, like we have all of our programs, all of our running clubs, Potterhead and Hoovian and Chilton and Fandom. Their second program is the Alliance for Period Supplies. So it is part of the nonprofit known as the National Diaper Bank Network, but it is a separate program, and they are focused on getting period supplies. They've gotten millions of period supplies into the hands of people who need them. So we are going to be helping them out with a goal of 200,000 period supplies to be donated over the next 3 weeks. Now, we're going to do this lots of different ways. I'm going to go through the rules with you. Those have been dropped in the Great Hall, in the TARDIS, in the fan domain, and in Luke's Diner. They will also be available online. You can go to that right there. Oh, look, there's a link right there for the complete rules and guidelines. So if you want to open your books to page 1 of these rules, you can open that link up and follow along with me. I'm going to be hitting some of the high points, but really you want to talk to your leads within your, if it's a Potterhead Running Club house, where each house has a lead, each Whovian team has a lead, and then from our guardians and our senators in FRC and CRC, there are point people that will help guide you if you have any additional questions, or you can ask a question here in the comments, and Kier is monitoring those. He'll pop those up here on the bottom of the screen, and hopefully I will paying attention, and I will see those and answer your questions. But right now, again, like I said, this is an issue. 1 in 4 people have struggled to purchase period supplies over the last year due to a lack of income. 1 in 5 have missed work or school due to a lack of access to period supplies. Think about college students, who menstruate. Think about them missing class if they don't have access to period supplies. And we know that college students don't have a lot of excess cash, so it's an issue there. Only 4% are aware of a local resource for free or reduced cost period supplies. 88% agree that period products are a basic necessity, but in the United States, specifically federal and state safety net programs cannot be used for period supplies because for some reason we don't want to talk about a normal biological function for over half the population. It's a normal biological function. You know what? And it has to be addressed. So the Alliance and its 107 allied member programs have distributed millions of period supplies. We are going to help with that. We're going to be specifically donating at 4 locations. Here you'll get more details on that down the road when we're actually going to make some big events out of this. And so when the time comes, we'll let you know. I will personally, physically be there because we can now do things in person now. I'm very excited about a summer dip that's not virtual. I think our dip that we did last summer was a lot of fun and it did a lot of good. But I am excited to get back to normal dipping. Not the weird sauces we were doing in 2020, but the pure dip sauce that we enjoy so much. And so we're back to it. And so I will be physically at Alliance locations dropping off tens of thousands of period supplies. So I hope that if you're in one of those areas, you will come join me. More info to come in the weeks ahead on that. But let's get down to the competition. The dates for this competition are from June 21st, today, which ironically enough, wink, is the first day of Prime Day on Amazon. Coincidences, I like them. And it runs through July 12th, so through the holiday weekend here in the U.S. So June 21st to July 12th. These are very important. If you're going to be sending things yourself, they need to be postmarked no later than July 6th, so they can be received no later than July 12th. We do have to have a hard stop deadline on this so we can calculate the final points. If for some reason your package arrives after July 12th, no worries, it'll still get donated to people in need. But it just won't count for points. So you got to be received by July 12th, or they don't count. The items to be donated: we are going to be donating tampons, pads, and menstrual cup sets. The point values are thus: 10 tampons equal 1 point. Put it another way: 1 tampon equals 1/10 of a point. Same thing for pads: 10 pads equals 1 point, or 1 pad equals 1/10 of a point. And then 1 menstrual cup set. Menstrual cups are typically sold in sets. Those sets usually include 1 or 2 cups, a carrying bag, maybe a sterilizing cup that the menstrual cups go in. It's like a little pop-up cup that used for sterilization. Those come as a set. So that's when we're talking about menstrual cup sets, not the individual menstrual cups themselves, but those menstrual cup sets are worth 4 points. They are a little bit more pricier than an equivalent number of tampons or pads. So they are worth a few more points, but we don't expect those to be the bulk of what's donated. We expect the bulk of what's donated to be pads and tampons. The greatest demand signal is for pads, just letting you guys know. About 60% of the demand signal from the Alliance members is for pads, and 30% for tampons, and about 10%, 5 to 10% for menstrual cups. So that's kind of how we worked the math out to kind of achieve that goal and that demand signal. We are donating specific items for a specific effort, and so points will only be awarded for those things. So if they are other period supplies, such as panty liners, for example, panty liners are great for couple days before, maybe a couple days after period, menstruation cycle. But those are kind of a would-be nice things. Now, obviously, the Alliance members will accept those donations and distribute them to people in need, but their main need is for pads, tampons, and there's the details right there. Pads, tampons, and menstrual cups are what are needed. So we are going for what is needed. There you go. So they will be, and also the reusable menstrual pads. We understand that those might be more environmentally friendly, but we do have to consider the people who are receiving these items may not have the means to clean them. So please do keep that in mind and stick to tampons, pads, and menstrual cup sets. The collection point for this: in the past, you will have seen that we, Kier's doing some good resizing there. Thank you, Kier. And we're following along. This is beautiful. So you don't have to change screens. This is great. So, Kier, you can make me a little smaller and make that a little bigger if you want. It's more important for people to see the words than see my smiling face. Well, maybe not that much. Now I'm tiny. No, I'm kidding. The collection point for this dip, in the past we have had it's been distributed all over the country doing different things, but we had an issue with our diaper collection that our poor volunteers lost their lost their garages for weeks, if not longer. And so, to alleviate that, the collection point for this dip is one location, and that is RTI headquarters in Guilford, Connecticut. That's right, Random Tuesday Inc., 2351 Boston Post Road, Suite 205, Guilford, Connecticut, 06437. That is where you will be sending your period supplies that you are donating, whether you are shopping on Amazon or Walgreens or Target or Kohl's. Or you're sending in supplies from yourself, because that whole point is there's different donation methods. We understand the cost of shipping is usually the long pole in the tent. And so we want to give you lots of different options when it comes to participating in this dip to help your house, to help your team, to help your program do the best it can to try to win the Philanthropy Coffee Cup, which is the award that we give out for the best dip performance by a program, Potterhead, Whovian, Fandom, or Chilton. Now, you can donate to your house, team, or program PayPal account, and they will do a bulk order. We've actually got a spectacular opportunity with the Alliance for Period Supplies and one of their partners to get some wonderful low cost but high value. That's a very important thing. High value pads, but at a great price point. And so the bulk orders will be able to do a whole lot of good with those funds because we're going to be able to really maximize those funds to get tens of thousands of pads through the bulk orders. You also have the opportunity to do individual drop ship or online purchases. That's online shopping. Everyone knows it. Everyone does it. And that's going to Amazon, Target, Walmart. Get free shipping from them. Don't pay for shipping yourself if you can avoid it. Have them pay for the shipping. And we have some very special things happening with Walgreens and Kroger during this dip. More details down below, but I'll cover it right now real quick. The Alliance for Period Supplies has a phenomenal sponsor, and that is Kotex. And their brand, U, that's the letter U, by Kotex. If you buy a U by Kotex from a particular retailer in a given month, that retailer and Kotex work together to donate 2 matching products to the Alliance for Period Supplies. So actually, every purchase you make there will actually count for 2 more. Now, we can't give you points for that, but you can know making that purchase will actually generate 2 more packages of period supplies for people in need, people who utilize the Alliance for Period Supplies. In the month of June, so the remaining 9-10 days of this month, it's Walgreens. If you do an online or in-person purchase of a U by Kotex product at a Walgreens in the month of June, Walgreens and Kotex will donate 2 packages to the Alliance for Period Supplies. And if you're waiting until July, it's Kroger. Kroger is the retail partner for the month of July. So making an online purchase or in-person purchase at a Kroger of a U by Kotex product will generate 2 more being donated to the Alliance for Period Supplies later on in the year. That doesn't count as part of our donation, doesn't count for points, but something that you can do to know that you're actually doing a little extra good with your online purchase. But at the same time, if you don't want to do U by Kotex, you want to get a different deal through Amazon or Kohl's or Target, Walmart, etc. You do you perfectly fine. Try not to pay shipping if you can avoid it. Your other option, and we are giving you this option again this time, is the individual purchase, physical purchase, and drop off. Likewise, you can also utilize this method to clear out your closet or to do a period supplies drive in your hometown. What this means is that you have the ability to drop off at a physical location. The Alliance for Period Supplies, the link is provided later on in the rules, but you can look up an Alliance for Period Supplies member and drop off at their location. They have 107 members all over the country. Now, if for some reason you are, for example, an international member, the Alliance is only within the U.S. If you're an international member or you live in an area that doesn't have an Alliance member, you can drop off at any women's shelter, any homeless shelter, appropriate such location for that services people who menstruate. And you can drop it off there. The details are below, and I'll go over those in a few moments. But the bottom line is you can clear out your local Target, your local dollar store. There's a good sale, there's a good deal. Maybe you just pick up an extra package or two when you're doing your normal weekly shopping and you want to drop it off at a shelter or some other similar location, a charity near you. So long as it's a 501c3 nonprofit charity, that is perfectly fine with us. If it happens to be a Alliance member, that's groovy. If it's not, no big deal. And again, for our international members as well, because there is no Alliance members in your countries, you can drop off at any appropriate shelter or drop-off location in the UK, in Germany, in Australia, Tasmania, in Japan, wherever you happen to be in the world. You also can use this drop-off method to conduct a period supplies drive. So utilizing your local school, church, book club, whatever other organizations you might be involved in. Put on a period supplies drive over the next couple of weeks. Organize it, put up some signs. If you go to the Alliance for Period Supplies, they have all sorts of flyers and materials for you to run your own period supplies drive. You're putting forth the effort. So all of those period supplies that you collect from your community, you can drop them off at the local shelter and you get credit for your house, your team, your program, and all because you put forth the work, you put forth the effort. So go forth and maybe put on a period supplies drive, like I said, your local school, local church, and get people to donate, and you get all the credit for it. Not a bad deal. You can also clear out your closet. You can clear out that cabinet underneath your sink in your bathroom or your linen closet, wherever you may have period supplies that are left over. Maybe you tried out a brand and you're like, I want to give this brand a shot. And then you're like, I don't like the way this looks, feels. However, wherever it wasn't the right size, whatever the issue, but you still have a bunch of them sitting there and they've become a permanent feature of your under sink cabinet. You can now donate them. You can either put them in the mail and send them to RTI headquarters if you wish to do that, or you can package those up and take them to your local facility, local charity, and donate them there. The only thing we ask is that they are still individually wrapped. Most of the time, tampons and pads are already individually wrapped, so please do that. Please do not donate any menstrual cup sets where the exterior box has been opened. Everyone wants to make sure that everything's nice and sanitary, so please make sure that that is an unopened menstrual cup set and unopened pad or tampon. But you get 1/10 of a point for any of those donations. So let's continue on. Go ahead and scroll there here. And we do get, you do have the opportunity to double, triple, and quadruple count your award your donation in order to be awarded the coffee cup. 4 incredible Fantasy running programs here: Potterhead, Whovian, Chilton, and Fandom. All 4 programs are competing in this competition and all participate in our direct impact projects. If you're a member of multiple Fantasy programs, your donation counts for all of them. So, for example, you're a member of Hufflepuff and you're a member of Villains and you're a member of CRC and FRC and you donate 100 menstrual pads, your donation will result in 10 points for Hufflepuff, 10 points for Team Villains, 10 points for CRC, and 10 points for FRC. And don't worry, we're going to keep a running total of the actual number of pads, tampons, and menstrual cup sets that are donated. So we were not, extra counting anything, but those points all add up. And the goals, as seen here in the chart, each program has a baseline goal based on their size and previous accomplishments. We base it on previous years. And so Potterhead Running Club, you're the biggest, you're the flagship program. So you guys are responsible for a baseline goal of 18,500 period supplies or 1,850 points. Whovian Running Club, you're responsible for 4,000 period supplies. Chilton Running Club, 1,000 period supplies, and Fandom Running Club, slightly bigger, at 1,500 period supplies. And then within that, it is broken down by house and by Whovian team. If you are, and there's little notes, you can't really see them, they're kind of small text, but if you're part of the faculty/independents or you're part of the non-affiliated Whovians, your donation gets credited to your program, be it Potterhead Running Club or Whovian Running Club overall. But you can see the goals there for Ravenclaw, Slytherin, Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Companions, Time Lords, and Villains, all based on previous experiences. That's your baseline number of points that you need to get. So, for example, Gryffindor needs to get to 370 points, otherwise known as 3,700 period supplies to reach goal 1. And that goes up by multiples. So goal 2 is 300% of that initial goal. Goal 3 is 500% of that initial goal. Goal 4 is 700% of the initial goal. And goal 5 is 10 times that initial goal. And so you see how all the numbers work out there. That chart's available to you, but I'm sure that your houses and teams and your programs will be talking about that. And I will be giving you updates on your progress in meeting your goals and awarding the points throughout the next 3 weeks. And then the program that exceeds their goal by the most for this dip and the winter dip will win the Phantasy Cup to be awarded at the 2021 Yule Ball. And we do plan on having a live Yule Ball this year. All right, so real quick for the House Cup and Whovian Cup goals, as you can see, I already mentioned that. Those are the points, the Whovian points or the house points that you can receive for reaching 100%, 500%, 100%, 300%, 500%, 700%, or 1,000% of goal. You can also earn Hermione points and unit points for really crushing those goals, getting to 1,250% of goal or 2,000% of goal. You get 5 additional points for each of those. You can get up to a total of 85 points for the House Cup or the Whovian Cup. And then as for bulk orders, we do allow all of the houses and the teams, as well as our CRC and FRC programs, to collect funds for large bulk orders to maximize resources. Important note, your bulk order donation can only count for the team or house to whom you made the donation. So if you want money to go to all of the programs, you need to donate to the separate programs. You can't just send in $10 to the Ravenclaw PayPal and then ask that 6 goes to Ravenclaw and 2 goes to CRC and 2 goes to Companions. We can't split that up. So we ask that you just make separate donations. Easy as pie. And now keep in mind that all of those donations to those PayPal accounts are 100% tax deductible because they are all managed by Random Tuesday. And so they all have our 501c3 attached to them. So those are all 100% tax deductible donations. And you can see we've got the various email addresses there. So if you go into your PayPal and you type in that email address where you want it to go, make your donation. Please send it as friends or family. Please do not send it as purchasing something or sales because then we get charged fees. This is a charitable donation. So if you do it as friends or family, then no one pays any fees, and 100% of the funds will be able to go to get period supplies to help people who menstruate. So use friends or family. All right. And then going on to the individual purchase and drop-off instructions. There's potential for high cost of mailing large quantities of period supplies. So we do allow you to donate them in person. Here are the details how it works. Step 1, go get them. Either collect them, gather them, purchase them, put on a period supplies drive, clear out your bathroom sink cabinet underneath, or purchase them from your local dollar store, from your Target, your Kohl's, your Kroger, your grocery store, wherever it happens to be. Check out the Alliance for Period Supplies website to find an Alliance member near you. If there isn't one near you, take it to any women's shelter or similar location. Please look for an Alliance member first because they are our charity partner for this one. But if there's no one near you, no big deal. You can go to any charity that is helping people with period supplies. And then I need you to take a minimum of 3 photos, bare minimum 3 photos. It will be at least 3. The first one is the photo of the package or packages that you have purchased. We need to be able to see the quantity and the type. So we need to be able to see that they are pads and not panty liners. We need to see if they're tampons. We need to see if they're menstrual cups. We need to see the quantity of tampons and pads so it makes sure that everything matches up with the math. Make sure that they're all visible in the photo and it's a high enough resolution photo that we can actually see the quantity, little quantity number. It's usually in the corner of the package. If you need to take multiple photos in order to get them all in, don't try to squeeze, 50 packages into one photo, taking it from standing on top of a ladder, we won't be able to see the quantities. So if you had to take multiple photos of 6 packages in each photo, that's perfectly fine. That's why it's at least 3, because it might be more photos of the packages. Then we need a picture of the entire donation. Make a cool pyramid right in front of the drop-off location where you're delivering them. And so we can see the full donation. Now, if you would like to be in that photo, ask a passerby or the charity where you're dropping it off to take the picture with you in it. We would love to have the picture with you in it, your smiling face, delivering period supplies. If the charity wants to be in it, if you want to have the charity name in the background, their whatever branding they have at their location, that's awesome too. Please note that if you do share those pictures with us, with you in them, you're giving us permission to use them, and we might just use them. So do be aware of that. And then last but absolutely not least, in fact, it's absolutely critical if you want to get credit for it, you got to have a photo or a digital copy. In other words, you can print it out and hand fill it out and then take a picture of it, or you can fill it out digitally using a PDF editor or something. But you got to have a photo or digital copy of your RTI donation form. It's the last page of these rules. And so that tells us what program you are choosing to support, whether you're part of FRC, CRC, PHRC, or WRC, or all 4, or 2 out of the 4, or 3 out of the 4. You got to let us know. Also, it'll tell us your name. If your name is dramatically different from your Facebook name, I would love to have both. That way, if I have any questions, I can reach you via Facebook. But it also needs to have the total number of your donation. So total number of pads, total number of menstrual cups, total number of tampons, pads, menstrual cup sets. And so make sure you do the total number, not number of packages. That'll help me do my calculations and my math. So minimum of 3 photos. It might be more if you need more individual photos of the packages themselves. But then you upload those photos. We're not having to email them anymore because we've moved on with the times. And so we are using a Dropbox file drop there, tinyurl.com/dip donations. Very important here. When you upload those, your file names of your photos need to be unique. They need to be unique so we know who's who and we don't have any accidental overwrites of the information. So it would be helpful if you could start the file name with your last name and then tell us what the image is. So Smith donation form, Baker form, Patel donation, Jones total donation, McDonald period packages. Those are great names. Bad examples: picture 1, image 1, Jones 1, form 1, or just form, or just 1, or iOS 06, whatever. Because those could get overridden if someone else downloads a file of the same name after you. Yours might go away. So especially like if you call it form, that could end up, or image, that could be very easily overridden by someone else doing the same thing. So please make sure that they're unique photo names. Don't risk it. All right. So unique photo names. It tells us what it is. And then go ahead and scroll on down there. Some more here. Thank you so much. So a little bit more instructions, reminders, ideas, and suggestions. Again, packages must be postmarked no later than July 6th, received no later than July 12th in order to count for points. But if they're received after that, no worry. They'll still get donated. You'll still have done good. It'll still be part of our total number. You can purchase them, donate them. You can do the drive. If people donate period supplies, you make sure you want to ask anyone who's donating that they donate pads, tampons, and menstrual cup sets. Maybe you just want to do a drive for pads or just a drive for tampons. That's totally your call, however you want to do it. And if you get panty liners or other period supplies in there that don't qualify for points, don't worry about it. Still donate them. They'll still be put to good use. And hey, someone donated them. It's all good. No specific brand required, Kotex, Stay Free, etc. So brand cost is completely at your discretion. I know some of you have a preferred brand, but we can tell you that the future recipients of these really don't have a preferred brand. That said, we always try to encourage people not to go for the super cheapest possible option. We have seen some pads out there that are quite thick and probably rather uncomfortable. and you wouldn't necessarily want to wear them, so why donate them? It's kind of the same idea of donating, pumpkin pie filling to a food bank. Pumpkin pie filling is great, but maybe not so much in March, and then they need the rest of the pie fill, pie crust and whatnot to make a pie. So just think about what you're donating. But then again, it doesn't have to be the most expensive option out there either. We are trying to help as many people as possible. It's a balance. That said, as I said before, the Alliance for Period Supplies has sponsorship with Kotex. So if you purchase You Buy Kotex from Walgreens or You Buy Kotex from Kroger in the month of July, Walgreens in June, you'll be doing extra good because they're going to donate 2 packages of that same product to an Alliance for Period Supplies members, not one of the necessarily the 4 that we're supporting, because it could be an Alliance member anywhere in the country. And I already mentioned the menstrual cups are primarily sold in sets that contain 1 or 2 cups. Sometimes they may contain 4. It varies. But they come with a carrying bag, a case, a sterilizing cup. That is what I'm talking about when I talk about a menstrual cup set. We do not want individual floating around menstrual cups. They need to be a set. They need to be in a box. A box of 24 menstrual cups doesn't do any good because they cannot distribute individual unwrapped menstrual cups. They can't distribute those. So those won't count for points. So don't do those. All right. If you are mailing the supplies yourself, i.e. you've cleared out your under cabinets or your linen closet, wherever you store your excess period supplies, you need to print out and include the donation slip. And if you don't have a printer and you can't print it out, you can copy the data on a piece of paper. You can write, my name is whatever. I'm putting in, 300 tampons, 100 pads, 1 menstrual cup set, and I'm in Hufflepuff Villains, FRC, and CRC. And you can write that on a note. You could basically give me the same basic, and I'm going to drop it off at this location. You can give me, or you're mailing it. So in that case, you're not dropping it off location. But you can give me the basic information if you don't have a printer. That's fine. It doesn't have to be an official form, and without the official form, you get no points. As long as I get the information, you'll still get the points. So if you're shipping the items yourself, please make sure that you include that form. And if you have more than 1 house or team represented in your house, you want to split the donation, make sure you don't double count. Make sure everyone gets credit. Include 2 forms or more if you have more houses represented in your residence. If you're shipping the items yourself, highly recommend United States Postal Service, large or medium flat rate boxes. Do not let them upsell you. You get the box for free. You don't need express. You don't need tracking. You don't need all the bells and whistles. Right now, the post office, even despite some delays, they're still running about 5 to 6 days for priority shipping from pretty much anywhere in the United States. So you can, so long as it's postmarked by the 6th or before the July 4th holiday, the packages should arrive by July 12th. You'll be fine. Don't need to do priority. It's already in a priority box. And if you need to break up a package in order to make it the individual tampons or pads fit in there, so long as they're individually wrapped, you can break up those packages, put them all in the box, because the box configurations can be a little weird. So you absolutely can break them up if you need to. If you're purchasing via Amazon Target online store, make sure you select a gift receipt and put your house, your team, CRC, FRC, whatever, whoever you want to get credit for it on that gift receipt, and include it abbreviated in the address. Our mail carrier, Sarah, she knows who Random Tuesday is. She will not be confused by these little abbreviated letters in the second line of the address. That won't throw her off at all. So go ahead and include those. But if you do that on both the address and on the gift receipt, that makes sure that just in case Amazon or Target or any one of the other online retailers doesn't include the slip in the package or it gets lost somehow, you still get credit because we'll know who it's from, who it's for, even though we may not know who it's from. Keep track of your expenses. 100% of everything for this dip is tax deductible. So you can claim the items and the shipping because you're sending the items. These are items to be donated. You're sending through the mail. You get the shipping cost as well. If you use Amazon, please consider using Amazon Smile. Today is Prime Day, so some great deals out there. Go out, shop today on Amazon, but please choose Random Tuesday. for your Amazon Smile if you haven't already. We'd appreciate it because we get a portion of your transactions back to RTI. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it helps us do even more, so much good. And if you're sending packages to the US, which is not something that I'm encouraging, but if for some reason you are sending packages to RTI headquarters, make sure you mark them as humanitarian aid. That way there will be zero cost for customs. And on top of that, it is a humanitarian aid item, and the moment you send it, it loses all of its value because they're going to be donated free of charge to people in need. All right, so that is it. I have run through the basic rules. Here, that's the form that I need you to include. Again, if you don't have a printer at home, you don't have the ability to print, you can go ahead and just give me the basic information off this form, include it with your package. That's perfectly fine. Just as long as you give me the basic information so I know who you are, who you belong to, and what you're sending. I appreciate that, and you can send that right along. All right. Here, do we have any? I got a whole bunch of amazings here. I like the amazings. We got any questions that you want to elevate up to me? Looks like Barb has put the rules in all of the places. And some people are saying you again. Oh, because you just saw me live. All right. Cat Swank, excellent point. Tracking is standard with priority shipping. Don't pay for the extra. That is silly upsell that the individual at the counter at USPS has to try to upsell you. It's not necessary. And January first class too. You typically get some kind of tracking. And you don't necessarily have to worry about tracking because we're going to get them. It's all good. And especially if you send them before the 4th of July weekend, we should have them at RTI headquarters in no time at all. And so that's good to go. You can start throwing money at us like right now. Yes, you can, in fact, start throwing money at us right now. Go ahead and check out whatever program. If you want to donate to the bulk order funds with FRC, with CRC, with your PHRC house or your Hoovian Running Club team, you can absolutely do that. They're putting details out right now. But in the rules, there is a barking dog. It's UPS is delivering to my house. Thank you. And UPS has no respect for my lives, and that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly okay. But if you go into the rules, you will see the email address, the Gmail address. And yes, I do know that the PHRC houses, there is no P, it's HRC, Gryffindor, et cetera, because once you create an email address, you cannot change it, even if the program acronym changes. So yes, it still says HRC on that. It's fine. Can we send a 4-pack of cups? Yes, you can send a 4-pack of cups. That is perfectly fine, so long as it's a package. It's when you start getting, so long as it still has like a carrying case or a little bag, that makes it a set. But so long as it's an unopened box and it's a box or a bag, sometimes they're nice and they're kind of artisan. They come in a like little drawstring bag. That's fine. Something that, think about it from a terms of distribution, something that can be handed out at a shelter or at one of the Alliance member locations. So if it happens to be a 4-pack and you get a great deal on it, that's perfectly fine. But it should have some kind of carrying case or bag and maybe a sterilization vessel of some kind. I see that Heather McCormick loves dipping. That's good. I love dipping too. This is actually one of my most favorite things about the Fantasy Running Clubs and about Random Tuesday is this opportunity for us to show the world what geeks can do when we make a concerted effort in a particular area. And we've proven this time and time again by completely wiping out the shelves at various stores. We have completely wiped out online retailers of various items. We have done this many times. We especially do it with bandages. We have created accidental worldwide shortages of certain items. Oops, that has occurred, and it's really wonderful what we do and how we do it. And so, and I see a lot of people say quality is important. I agree that quality is important. There's some cost that comes with certain brands. While you have some brands that are a little less expensive, especially if you are a person who menstruates, you know what is a good value, and you know what a good value is. I trust you. You know what a good value is. So go for it. Um, Someone said that was a quick tampon delivery. I don't know what that was a reference to, but I'm not 100% certain. Um, and also, it's menstrual cups, not the discs. It's very important. Um, the, they are the cups, not the discs. Not the disc things that are external to the body. That's not so awesome. Because again, it comes down to the washing of things that the recipients may not have the access to. Um, if I host a local drive, how do we prove? Um, don't worry about you. Don't need Kate. If you go to the Honest Period Spice, you can use their tools. There's different images there that you can utilize, but you are not doing a drive separate from ours. Your drive is part of ours. So if they need some kind of communication, you can say that you're doing a drive as part of the Fantasy Running Club's part of Random Tuesday. And trust me, they know who we are. We've had enough conversations with them over the last couple of weeks. We know them all on a first name basis. But that's just to get some tools and whatnot. Some materials that you can use to advertise locally. You can print out and post in your workspace or at a church office, wherever. But yeah, those supplies, when you gather them all up, if you do a period supplies drive in your local community, I imagine you'll have many photos to take of all of the various packages, and you'll just simply upload those to the Dropbox, the link that we have provided to you, and then you get credit for all those points. And obviously, if you have other members of RTI's Fantasy Running Clubs helping you to share the love and the credit, but if it's all you, the points go to your house, your team, your program, CRC, FRC. They go where you want them to go. So good stuff there. All right, got a couple new comments. So someone was making a joke that there was a UPS delivery and they thought it might be tampons being delivered to my house. That would be extremely fast for UPS because you guys have just started clicking on it. That would be fast. And why are you sending it to my house? Okay, I think that's it. I think we've covered everything. If you have any questions, speak to your team leads in Whovian Running Club. Speak to your heads of house or prefects in Potterhead Running Club. You can speak to a senator or a guardian in CRC or FRC as appropriate. Ask the questions. Donate to the bulk funds if you want. Do your own individual thing if you want. Send them to headquarters or drop them off locally. Lots of different options, but make sure you're reporting back to us so we can give you credit for those donations. And so we know so much good that we have done in the world. Folks, this is an important dip. This is an opportunity for us to really demonstrate to the world the need for period supplies and a need to end period poverty. So get out there, do so much good, and have a great direct impact project. Have a great day. See ya. Bye.